who strongly refused it now are such pros at Zoom meetings and other online platforms. But that change was forced upon us. But sometimes, no matter how strong a signal we get that we need to do something different, no, we just stay, we want to stay where we are, and we have no desire to move on. And so we just refuse to see that need for change, even when it might be dangerous for us to stay put. And again, we've seen that with COVID, right? We've had a lot of people deny it, and we took steps maybe later than we could have, and so many people have died consequently. Perry explained his own experience on this, noting, "Clear in my heart, I know that for me to grow, I have to release my grip on the present well-known bar and move to the new one. But now each time it happens to me, yes, because change will keep coming, will keep giving us the opportunity to take it on. Each time it happens to me, I hope, no, I pray I won't have to grab a new one. But in my knowing place, I know that I must totally release my grasp on my old bar, and for some moments in time, I must hurl across space before I could grab onto the new bar." Answering that call to change can be scary. Actually, I heard somebody here says, "Oh, this is exciting," as people were swaying in space. But when very demanding changes come to us in life, it can be scary, it can be risky, it can be difficult, confusing, frustrating, disorienting. But that is where the work actually happens. And that period in between the old and what's to come next, that between when we are actually deciding what to do with this opportunity to change, with this opportunity to grow, and that wrestling and reaching out even though we might be afraid, and trusting that it is the time for the next step for your aliveness, even though you are filled with terror. This is where you can be transformed. And trusting yourself, recognizing all the previous times that you took a leap of faith across the void and you made it. Trusting that you won't go crushing into the unseen bottomless chasm. Having faith to take that leap even though you have no idea what the outcome will be. Because as someone in that Vespers service aptly pointed out, you can just stay on that old bar, your old life, or you can get off the trapeze altogether. Regress, maybe, because we already know what's back there, or give up on life altogether, since the trapeze in the parable represents life itself. And I can always rely on Miss Havisham from Great Expectation to use an example as someone giving up on life. But most of us do not stay on that old bar. We accept that we are prepared enough to handle what comes next. We give in to our heart of hearts, that place of deep knowing, and let go of our resistance to what must happen in order for us to grow. We allow ourselves to be transformed. Then we take that leap toward our aliveness. This is the essence of what the mystics call the faith experience. No guarantees, no nets, no insurance policy, but you do it anyway because somehow to keep hanging on to that old bar is no longer on the list of alternatives. And so, for what could seem like an eternity, or really last a microsecond or 1,000 lifetimes, I soar across the dark void of the past that is gone to the future that is not yet here. Again, Perry. What sustains you as you take that leap of faith? Because you do have changes that come to you all the time that are difficult for you to take the next step towards? What sustains you when you must make that leap of faith? For some of us you use, the idea of faith experience might not immediately resonate. So let's try not to get stuck there. The bottom line is that we are living creatures trying to make meaning of our existence, periodically feeling pulled towards something, feeling pulled to make a change in our lives. In those moments, what makes it possible for you to have deep knowing that you can take that next step toward the unseen future? What is the source of your faith? Or let's say strength. Is it your religious community? Is it relationships, family, your own ability, a higher power, God, Allah, Buddha, Spirit of life? Knowing the source of your faith is especially important during times of significant changes in our lives. The time to cultivate those sources, doors, during the mundane periods. The times where we're swinging along merrily or not so merrily. This is so that we can draw on those resources in times of need. This is the part of our spiritual work that is the very center of that, finding ways of grounding ourselves and knowing what the things are that ground us. Because we know that it is only a matter of time before, bam, or not so bammy, the next trapeze bar, a new one, comes moving towards you with your name on it, calling you to hurl through the void. And you will need to take that leap. And by so doing, you may just learn how to fly. Please rise and body your spirits and join in singing hymn number 1052, The Openness of Everything. We're only going to be singing verse 1. The words will be presented on the screen. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. May it spread into every word, deed, and interaction until we are all changed, transformed, and transforming together, becoming our better selves. Emily Richards. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth and community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.